Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah, walhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Today's question comes, seems like from a sister. Is it true that many men don't marry women who are not virgins, or is it due to feminism creeping into our Muslim women? Question is a bit unclear, but let's split it in two. Number one, the issues of men not marrying non-virgin women, and then the issue of feminism. So I think basically what's being asked here is two reasons as to why men are not really wanting to marry anymore. Or in one case, non-virgin women, in another case, just feminism, I guess, and how feminism has impacted the choice of men in the world. So when it comes to virgins, the Prophet ﷺ did encourage men to marry virgins, but it depended on the situation. Even in that hadith, it is depending on the situation. Did the Prophet ﷺ marry all virgin women? No, he did not. But he, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, was a very mature, knowledgeable, very, very strong man. And sadly today, we have, of course, a lot of immature men and insecure men. And there's two types of men who are insecure. There's those who are insecure just for reasons that are just childish, okay? Very, very childish, and that can be dismissed. Sadly, we have a lot, and that's why we're trying to work to bring those men up to standard in our dawah. And then you have the second type, which is rational insecurity, because, for example, they see so many problems. So society and women will say to them, oh, you're just insecure. Well, yeah, if you've been married 5 times before, of course he's going to be insecure. It's a rational insecurity because there's so many implications there, including that 5 men have basically touched you, including that there might be trauma, including that there's some suspicions as to why things didn't work 5 times. And yes, it's not exaggeration. It does happen when women are already married 3 to 5 times, and then they complain as to why guys don't marry them who've never been married, for example. And then they'll say something like, well, the Prophet ﷺ married non-virgin women. True indeed, he didn't. He did marry non-virgin women. But we have to, each case needs to be analyzed and understanding that. So the Prophet ﷺ was just guided by Allah, was a very mature man. Are there any mature men in this world? I'm sure there are, inshallah, who can understand that the woman's gone through trauma, but not every man wants to be your psychiatrist or your counselor. You have to understand, sister, when you get married, a lot of men don't have time for that. They are avoiding that. Not to mention what's going on in the world with feminism, right? That all these women have gone through different experiences in life and they've been affected by feminism. A lot of them are divorced, meaning non-virgins. And if you look at the causes of divorce, sometimes they are very, very petty. But because they're supported by a certain government or a certain system, or because they themselves might have a certain security blanket there, they do sometimes, as it seems now that the numbers I recently heard and saw, the statistics that have been mentioned, are that 70% or more of divorce cases are now initiated by women. And again, we need to analyze. We can't just throw the numbers out there, but we need to also understand certain reasons for that. And one of the reasons is that women are just not in need of man that much anymore. And I can really expand on that from so many different angles, but I just won't do it in this video, maybe in another one. But one of the reasons is that they do have more independence, which people will be like, what's wrong with that? I'll tell you what's wrong with it, is that when a woman seems to have all this independence and all this support, it's not that, there's something wrong with her having some money, or people be like, oh, you guys are so narrow-minded. No, it's how she acts in that situation. And again, that links back to the reasons for why she files for divorce. 70% of time of the divorces that are being filed, again, women dominate that. And when you look at the reasons, you'll find that if a man files for divorce, usually will be like, well, she cheated, or this or that, or something really serious. But when a woman seems to be filing for divorce, in many cases, it used to be that man cheated. Things have changed around since 2017. It seems that tables have turned around. The women are cheating now even more than men. So numbers have been changing. But when you look at now, 2023, it's a long time now, a good, 5-6 years. It's huge in terms of development and social, let's say, evolution of ethics and morality. And I mean here evolution as in change. But you find that women will be divorcing for very petty issues, like, oh, I don't love him anymore, or oh, I fell in love with someone else, or oh, he's not treating me right, or something sometimes very petty that you would not expect, that you would be giving up 3-4 children and a husband that's been taking care of you or loving you or being with you for 5-10 years, that you're giving up just because you saw a Netflix series that made you realize that your life is not so good, or that you spoke to some person who convinced you of that. Again, we're looking at what are the reasons for these divorces when women put them forth. So men are a bit insecure. And as I said, 2 types of insecurities. Number 1 is the childish one, the one that we're trying to fight against. Number 2 is the rational one, the one that is worried about feminism, is worried about so many systems that are at play to emasculate men and to make society gynocentric, meaning female-driven. So yes, men are scared. They want to marry virgins because in their minds they think that virgins are somehow more pure or more uncorrupted. Women are easier to corrupt in their psychology, in their sexuality, and so many things. However, due to social media, I would like to add here something for those who are just thinking that because a woman is a virgin, somehow it's going to be an amazing, perfect marriage. Due to social media, I would say that they're not virgins in their brains anymore. They might be virgins in their bodies, but they're not virgins in their brains. Okay, so their minds have been, they lost their virginity in their mind because they've been influenced so much by TikTok, by Instagram, by Netflix, that even though they're pure and untouched physically, I guess, by someone else, but they're not untouched in their mind. And to be honest, if anyone knows anything, it matters a lot here. So that's what I would say about that. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. Barakallahu feekum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.